Hi, I'm the owner of this great factory. As you can see, I have many children working for me, day and night. We like them kids. They're easier to manage. Us employers don't have to pay them as much, and they're less likely to riot or form unions against us. Also, the kids are small. They're so little, they can get into small spaces in mines or reach tight areas in factory machinery. Because the machines don't need the strength of an adult, we mostly have kids working. I think them kids are scared of us. Because of their fear, they work harder. In 1810, 2 million children were working 50 through 70 hours a week. I'm thinking that number should have been way bigger, and the hours too. We like to keep the children we have in line in order for them to deserve their pay. I'd say we're fairly generous to them. We only make them work between 12 to 18 hours per day. That gives them 6 hours to sleep. What more do they need?
Hello, how are you? My name is Furman Owens. It's 1909 and I'm 12. I'd like to tell you a little bit about myself. I can't read and I don't know the ABCs. How does it go? A, B, C? I want to learn, but I can't when I'm working all the time. I live in South Carolina and I've been in the mills for 4 straight years. You see, recently was the rise of industrial America and all these children were being forced to work. The reason for this was because all them immigrants were moving into the city for jobs. Other kids nowadays have all kinds of jobs. One of my friends works in a nearby mine, another one is a newsboy. Then you have the factory workers, the agricultural kids, the trappers, and the messengers and peddlers. Home industries, canneries, and textiles are smaller. My mom and pa don't get that and want to learn. They make me work instead.
Oh, my dear child works all day for me in the textiles 'cause he's a small boy. I couldn't get by without him. He brings money to our needy family of 7, but it forces him out of school. You see, I can't afford to send him there 'cause there's not enough free education these days. On top of that, I don't want him wasting his time learning when he could be working for a cause. Like most kids aged 7 to 12, he brings in $16 for us each year.
My name is Maddie, and I'm 8 years old. I've been working in a factory for as long as I can recall, and it ain't fair. They don't treat us kids right.
And I go by Minnie. She's my little sis, and I'm 9 years of age. The conditions are worse for me. I work 10 to 18 hours every day, earning only $1 every 6 days.
And to add to that, we gotta give that money to our folks. The factories are always too hot or too cold, and we ain't allowed to wear shoes. We get all dirty. It's nasty.
Some days, Maddie and me have to work from 3:30 in the morning until 5 at night. We get barely any breaks and close to no sleep, making us sick, weak, and tired.
I got a splinter the other day, and then I heard my mama speaking about some toxic air in them factories. She said they led to diseases or something about some immune system. Ridiculous!
I'm Martha Albacker, 13 years. A few days ago, on January 7th, 1911, I had both of my legs badly burned in a working accident. I fell into a coal chute while working in the George S. Lee mines. I'm going back in 2 days' time. Sadly, my older friend Dennis McKee wasn't as lucky. He fell in with me and lost his life down there in the horrible coal chute. I miss my pal, but I'm not the only one who lost someone. Every year, over 22,000 children die on their work sites. Factories are pretty dangerous too. The machines can catch on their clothes or limbs, easily pulling a kid into them.
Working in the fields these days ain't no fun. I'm working every day through the winter and summer. Sometimes it get real hot or cold. They give us kids barely any breaks, and we're expected to work hard in the rain and snow.
He's right. I disapprove of his agricultural labor. He's required to use big, dangerous tools that could injure his fragile frame. Do you understand how scary it is for a parent like me? I'm worrying about him day and night. He's working outside where tons of animals could attack him any time, and even the plants could do him harm. Thing is, the employers don't even realize what they're putting the kids through. All they think is, oh, we're getting our work done, and it cost us almost nothing. Darn, those lazy farmers.
Howdy, what you up to? I'm a farm owner down here in southern Wyoming. My land produces hay, barley, wheat, and corn. My farmland also raises sheep for wool. Some of the children who live close to my area were sent to me by their parents who need a little wherewithal for their personal expenses. Like grub and stuff. My girls boost their family's income by $22 a year, and the boys help their family out with an extra $58. Even so, them parents always come to me complaining about how their kids don't bring a desirable amount of cash because their child's cost of living is high. They're always complaining about their kids pulling more weight than they can take. They may have a point, but work is work, and it's the business. Hello, thank you for coming. We are honored to have you discuss the National Child Labor Committee with us at this meeting. For our newspaper, I'll be interviewing you about your position and what you believe due to it. My first question is, as a member of the NCLC, today, June 25th, 1938, what is your main goal?
We are going through all of this hard work because we know children have rights. My own focus is to stop the employers from working the children too hard. All of us believe that kids shouldn't be laboring at all. Our organization was formed in 1904 and we've been working for the cause ever since. I'm not sure if you know this, but many similar attempts to end child labor have failed miserably. This includes the Keating-Owen Act of 1916. It tried to stop shipment of products that were made by anyone under 14. The act was struck down in the Hammer v. Dagenhart ruling, and we are worried this will happen to us.
Ah, yes, I heard about that. Well, in my opinion, the NCLC knows what they're doing. I also heard about the Pomeranian Amendment, which taxed companies that involve child labor, although I heard that was declined. Am I right?
Yes, that was unfortunately knocked down too. Luckily, several laws have been passed that oppose child labor. Many parents and children believe the treatment in factories and agriculture is unfair and should be illegal, just like us. Some decide to do something about it, some don't. Others just go along with what's occurring because they've been taught that working youths is an effective way of earning money.
I completely agree. Children of all ages deserve to relax and enjoy their childhood. Enough said. So what laws have already been effective in the rebellion against child labor?
There's actually been many, although they haven't been good enough because, as you can tell, child labor is still an issue. One law was in 1837, and it began in Massachusetts and later spread. It didn't allow manufacturing businesses to hire anyone who was younger than 15 that hadn't gone to school for at least 3 months in the last year. Later on in 1837, the Working Men's Party proposed that the government should set the minimum age of working to 14.
And is there any other laws that have been passed after those two were?
Of course! Being reluctant to give up the crusade, 28 states had passed their own laws by the year 1899. It's valid that most people didn't follow those laws, but they still existed. Going further into that topic, by 1910, 17 more states had also created personal laws, making the number go up to 45. The most recent advancement was in 1936, when the government stated that they will not purchase any products that were made by children that were too little to work.
I see. It seems as if the battle for rights has been moving along well, but nothing revolutionary has happened yet. When do you think your organization's attempt will take effect? It is now 1938, and where do you see your group in, say, 5 years?
Well, I don't know what position we will be in, but I hope that the children will
Excuse me, I sincerely apologize for having interrupted this. However, I have urgent news. Congress has finally passed the laws.
Really? This is amazing!
How soon will this take place? How did this happen?
It is unsure of the exact time, but it should be soon. Maybe in a few years child labor will be gone forever. It was the Fair Labor Standards Act, but it goes along with our beliefs too. The government has set a minimum wage, a maximum number of hours, and an employment age restriction.
Which laws are passed? I've heard some of the proposals, so what has definitely gone through?
It is official that children working must be no younger than 14. The new minimum salary is 25 cents per hour, and the maximum hours one may work per week is 44.
So you both are part of a triumphant organization now.
Hey Mom, I'm home from work. Minimum wage is now $7.25.
It's 2009. Took 'em long enough.
It's 70 cents more than before, but on the first 90 days of a new job, someone can get $4.25 instead. And we can still only work 15 hours unless we're above 16.
Maybe you can earn up for those concert tickets. If you want them, you should do some kind of work.